Hey, what's up guys? Jake here, getting back some Fatal 12. We're waking up in the morning where we've apparently slept with a child. So that's cool, let's get going. Ah! It's wakey time! I struggle to muffle my own voice. I hear someone else shouting into my ear. The voice belongs to no one other than Sonia. I'm glad she's gonna die. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. She revealed last night she had no lodging plan, so I agreed to let her stay here to avoid having to roam the streets.
I was surprised you let me stay, though. I was of the impression I could stay at one of those so-called manga cafes with ease.
Sounds to me like you've been browsing the internet too much, young lady. Besides, those aren't exactly hotels in the first place. She tilts her head inquisitively in response to my surprise. I know a lot of people do stay overnight at them, but I can't see anyone getting a good night's sleep on a chair. That and I doubt they'd let a kid stay in there that late.
Are you okay with your decision, though?
No, I'm not. I regret it right now. She tilts her head in the opposite direction, this time with wide and hopeful eyes. She's referring to a promise I made with her last night. I promised to give her a tour of Japan, even if it's a brief one. She may be able to speak Japanese, but there's still a whole new culture for her. That and, it'll be a whole lot more fun with two people, right?
Sister, I'm glad I came across someone as kind as you. That alone makes coming to Japan worth it.
Save that for after you've made some good memories. Don't forget we're staying in Tokyo. There's good meaning behind doing this during Divine Selection. As long as I survive, her memories and experiences here in Japan won't disappear. Oh, and don't forget that I've got to go to school, so we need to meet at Shinjuku Station in the evening.
Understood.
She smiles and raises an arm into the air as part of her enthusiastic reply. If only I'd realized then what she'd kept hidden behind that smile. Oh man, she's gonna like ambush me or something. She's probably still trying to kill me.
Good morning, Rinka. Mo-Rinny.
Morning, whatever.
Yo, did you notice I turned morning Rinny into one word?
Coming to school has helped me settle down a lot lately. Being reminded I've still got a regular life despite everything does wonders for one's mental state.
You're gonna ignore it?
What kind of reaction were you expecting from me?
Well, good night, my friends.
It's always a touch relieving to see Mao act as she always does.
Mao lets the comment fly over her head and sprawls out over her desk instead. I bet she's pulled another all-nighter. If that's the case, good luck waking her up before lunchtime. It's impossible for me not to smile at that freedom of hers. No matter what happens, I'll always have this place. Yeah. Okay, cool, and then school happens, presumably.
Screw lunch. I'm still tired, so back to sleep I go.
Well then, we might as well go up on the rooftop.
Yeah, what have you been up to that makes you this tired, though?
Stayed up watching a drama, because they were airing the whole thing at once online. By the time it was over, there was the sun.
Wait, so you didn't get any sleep at all?
That's why I'm sleeping now.
Yeah, she's out of the game. Like this game forever? Oh man. Miharu seems to be thinking the same thing. Let's go up on the roof and make out or something.
When was the last time the two of us managed to get alone time like this?
We make our way up to the roof after buying lunch. Miharu's eating light, as usual. Today really is one of those perfect days for sitting up here. And yet, the fact that we're the only ones doing it proves we really are avoided by others. To be honest, I feel like that's more of a blessing than a curse these days.
I have to admit, I'm happy we can still spend time together like this, even while Divine Selection is happening.
She accompanies her comment with the usual charming smile of hers. As for me, yeah, I'm happy too. I'm happy about it too.
Rinka?
You know, you're probably going through some tough times thanks to this whole situation as well, so like, just being able to sit here and forget about it for a while really is nice.
I mean what I said. I know I'll do everything I can for the sake of your smile.
Hey, let's not get into that for a hot second. Let's just be cool, okay? Miharu's expression as she declares her intention to give her life or mine flashed across my mind all of a sudden, mostly because she said it out loud like a second ago, right? I've gotten over a lot of things lately, but that is not one of them.
Oh, sorry. Well, do you mind if I ask you something?
She changed the topic before preparing to bite into her sandwich.
You haven't been meeting with Naomi recently, have you?
It's a pretty standard question, but her face looks deadly serious. She's gotten really good at brewing coffee now, so there's really no need for me to keep coaching her. Besides, she's busy with cultural festival preparations.
Something happened between the two of you, right?
I even told Miharu that Naomi was helping me out. That would put unnecessary pressure on them both, and it's why I have no idea how to answer her question. Miharu persists despite my hesitation, though.
There's a stark difference between asking another participant like me for help as opposed to someone uninvolved like her. You realized how dangerous things could get, and then you decided to put some distance between you, correct? It was the right call. Don't ask me how I know this, though. I just need you to understand that I'm not as dense as you when it comes to how people interact with one another.
Okay, that was kinda mean, actually.
Naomi's attitude has been very different than usual, starting with last week. You could say she looked like she had a true purpose motivating her.
I guess I shouldn't have tried to hide it from you.
Don't worry about that. I'm aware you did it with me and Mao in mind.
Thanks, Maharu. But you're right, I made sure she won't help me out anymore. I'll handle the rest on my own.
If only you'd ask me for help. But no.
Huh?
Wait,
Maharu casts her eye over to the entrance and then speaks to me in a whisper.
we're being watched. I heard a noise coming from over there just now.
You're sure it's not another student?
That wouldn't be an issue. But what if it's not?
The implication is clear. We can't discount the possibility of another participant having made their way into the school to keep an eye on us.
I'll open the door.
No, let's open it together. We're best off in the worst case scenario that way. She nods and we make our way over to the door under the pretense that we're heading back to class. We don't hear any footsteps, so it's likely they're still there. As it turns out, our guest was right on the money. I bet it's a little girl.
Your... Sister, my stomach has reached its limit yet again.
You mind explaining this?
Maharu directs her question at me. No, I don't know what you're talking about. Nope. This is one of those rare times where I can't help but clasp my hands on top of my head in a panic. Oh my god, did we know this? I feel like we knew this.
Sorry, Rinka, but even I have to point out how dumb the situation is.
Yeah, I know.
Wow, so this is a maid cafe. I've heard so much about them.
Sonia wanders around the store, taking in every aspect of it. I suppose this isn't the kind of place you'd find in Russia. In an ideal world, I wouldn't have come here. Not to say that maid cafes are bad in general, but I guess I don't really like standing out among the predominantly male customer base. Plenty of anime and manga are set in schools, so that seems to have led to Sonia to take an interest in what they're really like. It seems she had to enroll in a correspondence school due to her condition, which meant she'd never actually had the chance to go to a physical school. As such, going to one was part of being able to see the world at large in her eyes. That's why she sucked into a mecha high to watch what I was doing. I figured she would have been caught doing so, but she gave this excuse.
I trained myself in the art of the ninja, so I had no issues.
She made some wacky hand gesture at the same time. Apparently they're from an anime that aired while I was in elementary school.
Your kindness is something I should be proud of as your friend, but...
You're gonna do more damage than you think if you finish that sentence. Maharu's obviously baffled, so I can only give her a timid response. Lunch break ended not long after we discovered Sonia, so we had to get her to lay low somewhere until school was over. On our way back, I explained that her let her stay at my place. Once Maharu mentioned that she had to go to work, the topic shifted to what Maharu's job had entailed. Sonia's odd impressions about certain parts of Japan have led her to believe that maid cafes represent the country just as much as places like Kiyomizu Temple, so she's pretty much forced us to take her.
You don't regret your decision, do you?
I do not.
In that case, I can still say I'm proud of you.
Sonia makes her way back to our table just as we wrap up our conversation. There are a number of ornaments and notes littering the store, so it's not uncommon for customers to leave their seats. However, it certainly is odd for a girl her age to be wandering around a store like this. That's why all eyes are on us when she returns.
Maids are normally in charge of household chores, correct? Why did you become one when you're only in high school?
I'm working here part-time. Also, you won't find the kind of maids you're imagining here in Japan.
Oh, come on, no need to crush your dreams.
Oh, I see. And here I was thinking you're a secretly magical girl, Maharu.
More importantly, how do you know my name? Oh, you must have heard Rinka using it.
What is this so-called special pancake?
Ugh, those are here? Basically the maid draws something on it and recites a spell to make it taste delicious.
A spell? How interesting. I'll have one then.
The entire store gasps in horror upon hearing her request.
Hold on. Rinka, that menu option doesn't quite fit with my character here, so ideally I'll be able to refuse a request.
Not that I'd blame you.
Right? Let's just say those pancakes aren't particularly good in the first place. Certainly not worth the 5,000 yen price tag. I assume you know why they're so expensive. Moreover, this particular menu exists solely to squeeze more money out of single customers. I'd rather not have you enable the manager's wicked business tactics.
So I don't get any?
Unfortunately not, unless you're willing to ask someone other than me.
Just then the manager calls Maharu over. I guess he's noticed our little conversation. Her expression upon returning is an awkward mix of anger and despair. She placed a tray with a pancake on her table, then doodled something on it using a chocolate pen. A stuffed animal shaped to look like the one Sonia carries. My god.
Amazing! Look, Pasaru, it's you! Are you gonna cast a spell on it for me next?
Oh my god.
I need to do this in front of Rinka? Sorry, but I'm gonna curse you for the rest of my life now.
Maharu shoots Sonia the most evil glare I've seen from her. It's not the kind of expression you normally show to a child. Then she turns to me looking more serious than I've ever seen her.
You listening, Rinka? What I'm about to do is only part of this job, okay? That's why I need you to forget all about it once you leave.
She looks ever so tense. Hearing that caused all sorts of scenarios run through my head, which leads me to feel embarrassed on her behalf before she even does it. She inhales sharply and lifts her index finger into the air.
Nummy pancake for your tummy.
Oh my god, that's precious. She spins her index finger in the air a few times before creating the shape of a heart by cupping both hands together, which she then thrusts out towards the pancake.
I finally bore witness to one of Japan's most magical girls at work!
Sonia's likely oblivious to the emotions Maharu's keeping tucked away behind that smile. Instead, she's tickled pink she's gotten to witness something so rare. Meanwhile, Maharu hasn't moved an inch after striking her pose. She does all in her power not to make eye contact with me. Okay, that was adorable as fuck, though.
I'll never live this one down.
I couldn't bring myself to look her in the eyes when I muttered that earlier, so Maharu covers her face in shame and runs off to the back room.
Why is your face all red?
I feel guilty? I should have tried harder to stop her. I don't know, man. Anyways, once Sonia's finished her meal, I make sure to get our bill right away. Speaking of the bill, Sonia pays using the credit card she has on her. It's the only reason I let her order in the first place. As we're about to leave, Maharu returns from the back room. She's back in her school uniform. It would seem she's managed to get off early for the day, although I'm not sure I know how or why.
I want to look around Akihabara!
Oh, you mentioned that. I'm not familiar with Akihabara, though.
Then I'll join you. You're fine with that, aren't you, Rinka?
Maharu comes here often, so we'd be better off having her guide us.
Besides, it's not like I trust you yet. I'd rather not leave the two of you alone.
I can't call Maharu out, not even for her harsh tone. While I trust Sonia, I'm still aware of the risks involved in being with her like this.
Are you taking us then? There's lots and lots I want to see.
Sonia shows little care for our concerns in that regard.
She really is pretty with innocence, isn't she?
Having decided on what to do next, we finally leave the maid cafe. Oh, no, not here. This is where we died. Shinjuku Station's packed due to everyone making their way home from work. The three of us take the Sobu line from Akihabara back to Shinjuku, and then get off so we can make our respective transfers.
I didn't think we'd spend that much time there.
That was great!
Uh-huh. By the time we finish touring Akihabara, I am beat. I usually never get off there to make a quick transfer, so I honestly had no idea what it'd be like. I noticed tons of anime and electronics stores while we walked around. Sonia kept shooting in front of us and going off into stores that caught her interest, so it's safe to say she pretty much dragged us wherever she wanted.
Your knowledge of Japan's wonderful anime is lacking, sister. What a waste.
You know, I used to watch a fair bit when I was younger, but I didn't realize just how much there was. If it were manga, I'd know a bit more, but not as much as you two.
You should learn from Maharu.
I make sure to keep up to date thanks to my job. It's easier to please the customers when you can talk about these things with them.
When I think about it, I've barely watched any anime at all recently. I've kept myself busy by helping out with that at the store, and my time's tied up with it even more now that I'm in charge of it.
You read a fair amount of shoujo manga, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I borrowed a decent amount from Mao.
You may look scary, but deep down you still like girly things.
It's one of the best things about her.
Hey, shouldn't you be denying that I look scary? As we make our way back to the subway entrance, Maharu follows alongside us, which is odd of her considering she could have gone the opposite direction at Akihabara to get home. When I decide to ask her why she's tagging along, she answers with a smile.
It's simple. I'll be staying over at your place tonight as well.
Oh my god, 3 of us. Hot damn.
Leaving you and Sophia alone is a bit too dangerous after all.
Huh, but tomorrow's a weekday, you know?
I can make my way back home early in the morning. That is, after I make sure Sophia doesn't take you out while you're sleeping.
That doesn't even make sense. We're immortal, right? Hey now, no need to say it like that.
Take her out? Do we have somewhere else we need to go?
Maybe you're a little bit young to understand the meaning behind it. But as I said before, I don't fucking trust you.
Aww. She looks sad at first, but then flips right back to her bright expression.
I did get to visit a lot of fun places thanks to that.
You're taking her somewhere else tomorrow, right? In that case, I'll join you. Naturally, I'll be staying overnight again, too. But don't worry, I'll do what I can not to sour the experience for her. Is that alright?
I mean, I'm fine with it, but what about your mommy? She hesitates before nodding her head and telling me it'll be fine. With that sorted out, we discuss where to go tomorrow as we make our way back. Maharu never appeared openly hostile towards Sonia today, but you could tell things were a bit awkward. I mean, it's fine. It's not like most of us are gonna die, right? That Salisbury steak was delicious, Maharu. Sonia feels the need to praise Maharu for her cooking after we head up to our room after dinner. Maharu was the one to propose Megan on our way home, in all honesty. It really was. You know, I'd heard you were a good cook, but somehow that was better than expected.
It's not hard to improve when you cook on a daily basis. And it was a good opportunity to let you taste my cooking for the first time. Now I can look forward to trying yours.
Sure, but don't set your expectations too high. It's funny, but I cook every day too. Granted, most of the time I buy a number of small meals and mix them together. I usually stick to simple things, so that's probably why I never seem to get any better. As for the food on the Lionhouse menu, I can only make that thanks to my grand's recipes. Next, we take our respective turns in the bath, and then spend the night watching TV and chatting away. And everything's fine, the end, yay. What time is it? I can tell it's not morning yet, but for some reason I've woken up. Huh? Something isn't right. And I realize what it is immediately. Neither Maharu or Sonia are anywhere in sight. They're dueling to the death in the backyard. I figure something's up, and then I hear voices coming from downstairs. Fearing the worst, I make my way to the stairs. I stop halfway down, though. Uh-oh. I'm not sure what they're talking about, but Maharu sounds rather serious. She obviously doesn't want me hearing or knowing what they're talking about, if she took Sonia downstairs with her. I realize listening in on other people's conversations isn't admirable, and yet I can't bring myself to go back to the room. Okay, before we figure out what the fuck this conversation's about, I'm gonna draw this episode to a close. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and be sure to tune next week to find out what these two are talking about in secret in the basement. I'll see you guys then.